So it looks like we're just waiting on Bobberts. Obviously, as well, some new faces this week that we didn't see last week, so we want to make sure that they know the rules and regulations of the race based off of the MEA standards that are applied to each event. Big story here today, there's about 3 or 4 drivers in the top 5 for qualifying that are literally tenths away from each other, not even thousandths away from each other. This is the first race in a very long time that Bobberts has not qualified in the top 3 for NASCAR points purposes. You know, those top 3 drivers get bonus points. So Bobberts was actually pushed out of that as Miss Katie Cat, who was able to race once again this week. Obviously, we're happy to have her. LMP Amoeba with the 2nd overall, and then Northern Thunder, who's kind of the one that people have been eyeing up and waiting to see on the ovals. We know that his debut on the road course wasn't the strongest, but we did know from previous events in the Daytona 500 that was hosted by MEA, he showed very, very strong strengths in that race. So qualified 3rd overall, great laps. He was running great times in qualifying as well, so, or practice I should say. So it looks like the only person we're waiting for right now, and the reason why this race hasn't started yet, is because LMP Crispy is having some technical difficulties, and they're just trying to get him back into the race party with all the other drivers. And there's a big purpose why they have to be in there. Obviously, caution race, you have to know what's going on, and you can't really do that. And unfortunately, with Forza Motorsports Game Chat, it's not the strongest, and it does cut out. So we're going to have to get this one rolling here soon. Hopefully, Crispy will ring that bell here very momentarily. And it looks like everything good's to go, and Katie says, hey, we're good. Let's get this going. So we're going to do just that. And there's your starting lineup right there. Alright, so here we go. We're ready to rock and roll for today's race here at Homestead in the MEA NASCAR Cup Series, the 3rd season actually, and it's been nothing but successful so far since week 1. So we're gonna get up to that 80 mile per hour range with the drivers. We'll slowly get there, but eventually we'll get there. I know I'm going a little faster than what the hay speed should be, but you know, that's just part of the dealio. Oh my goodness. Well, that's, I guess, how it works. So, we'll be going racing here. We wanted to make sure that that pit glitch wasn't an issue, and it looked like Katie was a little confused, and that's what created the little clutter there as they were coming around the first pace lap. So here we go. So we should be getting ready to go this time by some of the drivers, obviously not understanding what their first pace lap was going to be. I'm not sure if they thought maybe they were going green that lap or not, but that was definitely a funny moment. Definitely. But here we go. 117 laps of racing action here at Homestead International Speedway. The 3rd season of the MEA NASCAR Cup Series is about to be underway. And Miss Katie Katie Cat is going to lead the field to green alongside her LMP Amoeba, and then Northern Thunder and Bobberts right behind them. Outlaw and Crispy in that third row, and boy oh boy, let's see it. Practice is down, qualifying's out, green flag, and they're going racing here at Homestead. And Amoeba got stuck to the outside, didn't get the best jump he wanted to, but he's going to have to find the rhythm, find some pace to get back in line. The top 4 drivers already out to a good start, side by side down the back straightaway. It's Bobberts to the inside, Amoeba to the outside, the 8, the 7, the 8, at the end are 3 and 4. The nice thing about Homestead is you can run that outside line and still be pretty strong, and that's what Amoeba's doing right there in 3 and 4, not able to close the door, Bobberts, but looks like Amoeba's going to back off just a little bit right there, and Katie will lead lap number 1. So far, so good for all the drivers on the racetrack. No mistakes, no problems. And about for the race lead as we hop on with Northern Thunder in the number 18 machine as he tries to track down Katie Cat in the 02. And Katie and Northern Thunder hit the outside wall coming off of 4. And Outlaw's already trying to make some moves happen. He's already caught up to the 4th place driver as Amoeba looking to fend off SSR Outlaw, and LMP Amoeba not getting the start he wanted to right now and under fire. We talk about SSR Outlaw. This has been one of his stronger racetracks in the NASCAR Series in previous events. So keep an eye on him. He's definitely no slouch here, and one that definitely could win here today if he gets heated up into the moment here. So he's already on fire, and he looks to the inside of Amoeba, side by side, going into 1 and 2, coming off of 2. Outlaw to the inside of Amoeba as they go side by side down the back straightaway. Still Katie in front of Northern Thunder, 1 and 2. Outlaw having to back off, going into 3 and 4, trying to find that run. Meanwhile, Brentwood looking to work on LMP Crispy, and it looks like Gale Force, not too far behind them, is looking to try to challenge Brentwood for the 7th spot. And Outlaw got a great run off of 2. He looks to the inside. He'll take the 4th spot away from Amoeba. What a power move by SSR Outlaw. Not sure if Amoeba got too high there. He might have had to lift the car just a little bit coming off the exit, but just like that, Outlaw in some free air and able to track down the leaders. Meanwhile, further back, we'll ride with SSR Brentwood as he tries to chase down LMP Crispy for that 6th spot. Meanwhile, Gale Force and LMP Ranger not too far behind them, and DBO Dr. Quinn as well. Further back behind Clyde Yellow and SSR Person 11 and 12. They're doing some battling as well. And not too far behind them is Flamingo Stu. He's one of the newest drivers in the series. He's back here in the 13th spot. LMP Ranger goes to the inside of Gale Force at the end of 1. He'll pick up that spot. Meanwhile, Brentwood to the inside of Crispy, just barely touching the rear quarter panel. And these two drivers are catching up to Outlaw and Amoeba. And Outlaw to the inside. Looks like Amoeba might have had a run to the outside there, but nothing sorts as they come off of 4. Meanwhile, we go to the race leader, Miss Katie Cat, as she's currently leading Northern Thunder and SSR Bobberts 1, 2, and 3, a 3-car battle for the race lead. And Miss Katie Cat just running a consistent race. You know, that's what she's been known for in the past. And right now, running those clean laps, running those clean lines. Still in front of Northern Thunder, and you gotta think right now the draft is pretty much what's keeping these cars near one another on the back and the front straightaway. Bobberts caught up just a little bit there, but he's still about a car length and a half behind them. Nothing that is too severe by any means. And now Katie hits the outside wall, and so does Northern Thunder off of 4. And the top 3 cars starting to get away from the race pack just now, and SSR Outlaw back there in the 4th spot all by himself. It looks like Ranger and Brett were still doing battle further in the back. We'll hop on with them real quick as Crispy and Amoeba are duking it out for the 5th spot. And oh, there is about 3 cars in the back, almost 3 wide. It looks like Brett to the outside. Brett trying to find a lane underneath Ranger, nothing there. Gale Force right to the rear bumper as well. And Brett gets to the inside. Side by side going off of 2. And Brett not enough speed down the back straightaway trying to get back in line. The problem is he's got Gale Force right there trying to not make anything into a bigger situation. Dr. Quinn now catching up to this pack of 4. LMP Ranger and LMP Chrissy, 2 teammates. They're at 4th and 5th, or 5th and 6th, I'm sorry, as they try to track down Outlaw. He's trying to track down the top 3. There goes Gale Force to the inside. Looks like Brett got a little too wide to the outside now, and there goes Gale Force trying to pick up 1 spot. We're on the rear camera view of Ranger. You see the battle for 8th right now. Gale Force looking to that inside line. DBO Dr. Quinn looking to make something happen if they mess up. Gale Force been working real hard on Brentwood since pretty much about 3-4 laps ago. Brentwood still trying to find a run on Ranger, but there's Dr. Quinn looking to make a move to the outside of Gale Force. He dives down to the inside though to try and pick up that draft. And Brentwood getting really high going into 2. Didn't touch, but there's Dr. Quinn trying to make something happen. And behind Brentwood, let's take a look from his point of view right now as he's currently in front of this little battle for 9th. Dr. Quinn has caught up to them. He's been working real hard since about lap 8. And it looks like the caution is out, and it's Northern Thunder in pit road. So Miss Katie Cat and Bobberts still out in front. Not sure what happened. Obviously we were on a battle, and that is a big caution for a couple of the other drivers on the racetrack as they start getting in. Now Northern Thunder is in pit road, so he's gonna be on an odd pit cycle as pit road should be open this time by, I would assume it should be open, but we'll have to see as the drivers come around 3 and 4 that Northern Thunder is going to have to go to the tail end of the field. And what tough luck for Northern Thunder. High hopes for him as he came into this one, and obviously a lot of racing still to go here. Northern Thunder, I gotta think that maybe he got clipped or something. Maybe he got loose trying to battle with Katie for the lead spot because he was definitely all over. Now this is going to be an interesting restart because Bobberts is going to start to the outside of Katie, and Northern Thunder now getting to the tail end of the race field. Northern Thunder has a little work to do, but they should be going green next time around, so they should be doubling up on the restart here. And it looks like they're going to take another lap around. As it looks like Amoeba is going to enter pit road, and pit road is open this time by, and it looks like Bobberts, Crispy, and Amoeba all enter pit road, and Gale Force as well. It also looks like there's a couple other drivers in the pits with them. I gotta take a look here. It's hard to do that. Clyde Yellow, yep, is one of the drivers as well. Dr. Quinn. So you got a couple different drivers in the pits right now. About 5 of them. About half the field has entered pit road, and obviously Forza Magic is happening right there. So the drivers getting some fuel, getting some tires, trying to make some moves here in the race. Obviously, with no mandatory pit stops, they can be more strategic with their pit cycling. So that puts Northern Thunder back up to the mid-pack. It kind of makes up for the mistake of the issue that he had. Flamingo moves up to the 6th spot. Person, Ranger and Brentwood all kind of benefit out of that deal. The only driver that didn't change any sort of lap position was Miss Katie Cat. So here they go, they're lining up again. It looks like they're going green this time as the field comes back together. We got about 18 laps into that deal almost. So here we go, back to green flag racing. And Katie, there she's off to a good start there. It looks like it was a little bit of a hesitant start from the rear of the field, but they're back to green flag racing. Let's go further back and watch some of the drivers cut up through the field that made the pit stop to see if they can do that. We'll hop back on with the Bobbers, their defending champion from last season, and we'll take off the names here. And oh no. Okay, everyone's still in it. It's acting funny right there. And there goes Amoeba to the inside of Bobbert, side by side, battling for that 6th spot. And Amoeba able to make it happen. And Amoeba slides right in front of Bobberts. And Northern Thunder's moved up a couple spots too. He's up to the 4th spot. So it's Katie, Outlaw, Brentwood, Thunder. Your top 4 drivers right there. The Ranger in the 5th spot. Meanwhile, LMP, Amoeba, and Bobbert still battling it out for the 6th spot. And this is kind of a situation that Amoeba's been having problems with. It looks like he's been a little tight in entry and just hasn't been able to keep the car down. And look at this, he throws it down to the inside in front of Bobbert, trying to hold on position. Meanwhile, getting underneath his teammate, LMP Ranger. And wow, what a move by Amoeba going into 1 and 2. Caution is out once again, and that would be Clyde Yellow. So the number 56 machine, looks like he must have spun out, and well, that makes up a little bit for a couple of the drivers that had to pit a couple laps ago, and obviously we'll find out if the drivers will pit this time around. We'll get back up there. We'll hop on with Outlaw real quick and the 47 machine. And Brett, we're doing a great job too. You know, he's out there running that top 3 right now. He's shown it. He has a pretty strong car once he gets into a rhythm. So Brentwood, another one to keep eyes on. Funny thing about Brentwood is last season at Homestead, he had an opportunity to win late in the race. And if you haven't checked that out, it's on our YouTube channel at MEA Online Racing. Now for these races, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately the guy that was doing all of our technological work from stream to YouTube no longer is with us, so we're not able to really put these streams back up for right now. We're hoping down the road we can. As you see, LMP Ranger making a pit stop. And it looks like another driver as well. I believe that's Flamingo. Or no, that'd be Crispy. Crispy entered the pits. So Flamingo Stew. You know, I'm gonna keep messing his name up because I keep seeing Flaming, but it's Flamingo. Katie leading every lap in this race so far. And the drivers are starting to double up now as Crispy and Ranger start to catch up to the field. So here we go, we're about to go back to green flag racing here as we hop on the roof cam with Eslar Outlaw, and Katie will leave the field in the restart zone. We're back to green flag racing. And what a bad restart for Outlaw right there. He's got Brentwood to the inside of him. And now Amoeba dives down. Northern Thunder didn't get a good start either. Bobberts as well. Outlaw trying to get that speed off the back straightaway right there. You see it as he's going right by. Amoeba's still underneath. Oh man, are they cutting up in front of each other? So Katie, kind of all by herself, can make some distance here, gap between the drivers, and Outlaw What a move by Outlaw, hanging on to the outside like a champion. Brentwood still working the inside on him. Northern Thunder down there, almost 4 wide, with Amoeba going way wide there. Woo, they're getting exciting out there. So Outlaw able to clear Brentwood, and it came with a lot of work, but he was able to get the job done, and now can try to fight for that first spot. Meanwhile, Brentwood's still going to try to find a way to get around him, but the battle in 4th, 5th, and 6th right now, Northern Thunder, LMP Amoeba, and SSR Bobberts duking it out. You see Gale Force right behind Bobberts as well. And we got a little bit of a battle back here. Person was in 8th. He went up high and lost 2 positions and might lose another one here. Crispy trying to get down low, working on him. Flamingo Stew and Clyde Yellow, they're battling for the 12th spot. And it looks like Northern Thunder and Outlaw are duking it out for the 2nd spot. Let's hop on with that real quick because he's working on the outside and got around Brentwood as well. Look at this move, a power move by Northern Thunder. Going, wow, right in front of Outlaw and takes over that 2nd spot. What a big move by Northern Thunder. And he's back in the mix and looking to track down Katie once again. Early mistakes, but that means nothing to Northern Thunder. And what a pass. I mean, that was pretty special right there. You gotta say, he knows how to work that car on the outside, and we talked about it earlier, how the outside is really strong. We'll hop on with Brentwood, as he's still fighting. He hits the outside. Whoa! And Amoeba spinning out on the front straightaway. It's LMP Amoeba, and the caution will come out. And you saw it happen. They came off of 4 right there, and Brentwood hit the outside wall. Not sure if that affected Amoeba coming off of 4, but he got real loose, and then Sim Twitch getting on the front straightaway wasn't able to hold on to the car. Tough break for LMP Amoeba in that 78 machine. He's been so strong in the last couple of seasons, and obviously this season going for a championship. But a lot of racing, like we said, still to go here, but definitely a little bit of a wild one. And what about the pass from Northern Thunder over Outlaw? I mean, you know, it was impressive that Outlaw was able to hold over that 2nd spot. He battled for 2-3 laps with Brentwood on the outside, was able to keep that power and just keep on going. And it looks like pit road is open this time by, and it looks like Miss Katie Cat went in. But what about Northern Thunder? Just right after Outlaw was able to hold that up, and obviously they were battling between him, Brentwood, and Outlaw there, but just what a move to the outside, and not just a move off it too. He powered down that back straightaway and got right in front of that Outlaw going in the 3. That was a risky call, but man, oh man, did he take care of business. And it looks like a few other drivers went into the pits, Brentwood being one of them. Flamingo Stew, LMP Crispy, SSR Person, LMP Amoeba, and I believe LMP Amoeba is only caught up to them. No, he went in the pits as well, so Amoeba went in there. So let's get a view from Amoeba on the roof here as they get ready to go. Back to Green Flag Racing. And green, they're back at it. And obviously Amoeba trying to play a little bit safer on the start of this one. And Bobberts to the inside of Outlaw, side by side as they come off of 2. But we've seen Outlaw be able to hold that outside line, and Outlaw's been doing a heck of a job with that. As we ride the roof camera with Amoeba, Outlaw still to the outside. Let's see if he can hold on to it. We got a great view from it back here. They're still side by side off of 4. And he's not backing down, but look at this move with LMP Amoeba to the outside as he'll pick up the 12th spot off of a Person. Big power move. They're still side by side. Exiting 1 and 2. Bobberts and Outlaw. They're duking it out. Let's get up there with the 4th place driver of LMP Ranger, who's getting this front row seating ticket as we're still on the roof cam. And Outlaw and Bobberts are so close, door to door. Fighting real hard here. You can see the power to the outside. And oh, Bobberts clips the rear end of Outlaw as they go into 1. And that gives Northern Thunder a little bit of a gap right there. Meanwhile, Gale Force right there behind Ranger looking to pounce as well. And you got Miss Katie Cat. Katie moving up a couple spots already on this one. Now, I didn't mean to do that. I think we all like this roof camera as Outlaw and Bobberts still battle it out. And I'll tell you what, I raced in the last 2 seasons of the NASCAR Cup Series and MEA, and obviously this season I'm not. And oh man, oh look at that! It's Ranger to the inside of Bobberts now, switching places here as Bobberts trying to give up the 2nd spot. Outlaw not backing down from the challenge, and that just shows how strong Outlaw is here at Homestead. It's a track that he loves, a track that it feels right for him. And there's Katie to the inside of Gale Force for the 5th spot. And Dr. Quinn all over the back bumper of Gale Force. Brentworth duking it out right now and got clipped to the rear quarter panel of Dr. Quinn right there. Will lose a spot. And it looks like Katie might be working on LMP Ranger now as she gets to the rear bumper of him. Let's hop on board with Katie here as she goes to work. The top 5 I should say. Already distancing himself from the pack in Northern Thunder. He's got a nice little gap there on 2nd with that's Outlaw, who has worked so hard to stay in front of Bobberts. I mean, he really dug it in deep, really put in the work to do it. Very impressed by him. And Ranger hits the outside wall. Katie gets the rear bumper of him, but she's still got some momentum coming off the corner. Katie still to the outside, but this is where you want to be. This is where the car's been really strong off the corners. And Gale Force catching up to that, and Katie clears them, and she'll pick up the 4th spot. Meanwhile, further back in the 6th spot, LMP Ranger duking it out. Gale Force, and Gale Force goes to the outside, and it looks like caution is out. Caution is out, and that would be Flamingo Stu and SSR Person. And Flamingo Stu is his debut at MEA, and what a car, holy moly. And not what you want to see if you're Northern Thunder. You know, you had a great run, and he's really, really strong, and you know, I'm going to say he's definitely one to keep an eye for by the end of this race. So pit road is open. It looks like one driver will go to the pits. I believe that's Clyde Yellow. We'll take a look here. And it is the 56 machine in the Toyota Camry. Getting all fixed up, ready to go. So it's going to be an interesting start. You know, Outlaw hasn't had the best restart so far in this race, but he has been very strong battling for position on the outside. Now, if he can get a good jump with Northern Thunder, I wonder if Bobberts and Katie might be battling. And that outside line, if you're not up there and you're not smooth, it seems to be a real struggle if you're on the inside. So here we go again as the drivers are ready to go back to racing, and Northern Thunder will lead the field, and we're going green. And Katie didn't get a good restart there. And Outlaw losing a spot. Bobberts gets loose off the corner, and now Outlaw can work to the inside. And Gale Force now dipping down low as well and gets the rear quarter panel. Oh, but Katie gets to the rear bumper of Gale Force. Katie looks like she's going to work to the outside of Gale Force, possibly. Let's see what she does right here. Gets a nice run, nice and smooth, and what a pass by Katie to the inside of Gale Force, and it's not over yet though. She's still got to clear him. There's Dr. Quinn trying to get underneath her as well, and Gale Force going really high off the 4. Gale Force losing all kinds of momentum. He hit the wall really hard, and he's falling all the way back to the back of the pack. Look at that push by Crispy, pushing teammate LMP Ranger, trying to get by SSR Brentwood. For Gale Force just a little bit in this race. You can tell he has a really good car, and he seemed like he had really good pace last week too, and then had a couple mistakes. Oh, look at this! They touch, they bang, and Crispy gets to capitalize on that mess up by Ranger and Brentwood, and here comes Flamingo Stu as he leads a person in Clyde Yellow behind them as they caught up to this little battle due to that mistake, and you can see how far Crispy got away just from that little hiccup. And Flamingo Stu now entering the picture. And Gale Force not too far back there. You know, he's going to have to try to hurry up and catch up to this rear of the field, get into the draft just a little bit, see if he can do some battling with these guys. And Person hits the outside wall. Not sure exactly what happened right there. It looked like he turned right into the wall, possibly with Clyde Yellow. So a Person trying to get back on the gas, so apparently it's still green. And it looks like Bobberts and Katie have caught up to Outlaw. From afar it did, not exactly, but Katie's definitely caught up to Bobberts. And Amoeba's there too. Look at that, LMP Amoeba back in the mix. You know, he wrecked a few, a caution or two ago. Had to go to the rear of the field. Got obviously a couple of the drivers, able to make a couple pit stops along the way, but was able to get back up to the field and do some duking it out here with the top 5. And the top 5 real close. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Dr. Quinn back there in the 6th spot. And this is where it's going to get interesting now. Bobberts and Outlaw going back to battling. Northern Thunder not really able to get himself away from the pack, but doing a great job staying out front, and definitely showing how strong he is here at the Oval, here at Homestead. On the other side of things, I'm pretty impressed with Amoeba's comeback here after an unfortunate accident earlier in the race. There goes Bobberts looking to the inside of Outlaw, trying to get a run. Now this is where Katie's going to have to be patient. And Outlaw makes a pit stop. And I believe Outlaw hadn't pit, so that's probably why. And I believe the same story will be for Northern Thunder as well. Let's take a look at his fuel and see where he's at on the statistics sheet. So they're definitely getting down to it. Outlaw obviously making a earlier pit stop. So let's see what Northern Thunder ends up doing here as we hop back on to the second place battle. Amoeba really getting close to Katie. Possibly an opportunity to do some battling with her. And as Outlaw exits the pits, here comes Northern Thunder. Northern Thunder getting a nice run off the back straightaway, but Outlaw will stay on the lead lap. Northern Thunder going to stay out on the racetrack. He's got a rhythm, he's got a groove. Doing a fantastic job of it. You know, we love seeing new winners here at MEA, first time winners in MEA. Could Northern Thunder pull that off? A lot of racing still to go, obviously. We're at the halfway point of this one, just about. And Outlaw right now just trying to stay on the lead lap. And that's going to be his challenge as Amoeba will look into the inside now of SSR, or Miss Katie Cat, formerly known as SSR Katie, about a year and a half ago or so. So it's been a while, but that pink car has not changed whatsoever. And caution is out. Caution is out, and not sure who it is. But what a big break for SSR Outlaw. What a tough break for Northern Thunder. And we're going to see what happens here. Pit road probably not open just yet. So, you know, they get on these nice long runs, just little things, and you know, that's another break for actually SSR a person too. You know, he had that mistake. Same thing with Gale Force. Both of them having really unfortunate, you know, mishaps. That gets them back up to the rear of the field. So you got to think for them. They're thankful for that. Obviously, SSR Outlaw probably more thankful than the rest, though that he was under a green flag cycle. And Outlaw looked like for a minute he wanted to go up through the field. And Flamingo Stu is out of this race. I'm not sure if he disconnected, but really tough break for him. Was happy to have him on board, and not sure what happened. I wonder if he was part of the caution. So pit road should be open this time by. Let's see if anyone enters the pits, and it looks like a no. In the beginning of this one, for the first about 30 laps, it was really a strong fight with Katie and Northern Thunder. Obviously, pit cycles and things happen. It's been strong with Northern Thunder. This is I believe this is the first time Bobberts is starting outside of the start of this race on the outside. So we're going to see if Amoeba can take advantage of this, or can Bobberts jump that start just right, not be in that position. That's nope, that wasn't Brentwood. And then there's Miss Katie Cat. She's going to be on the outside too. And back to green flag racing, and what a nice jump by Northern Thunder. And there goes Amoeba to the inside. He throws it down low. Can he make it happen? And nice and smooth to the inside, but there's Katie trying to give him a push. But not able to get it done. And Amoeba, though he is in third, he's got Katie to the inside of him, side by side. And Katie, she looks like she's got this possibly, but we've known that that outside row has just been really strong on these green runs. And there's Outlaw already coming up to the field. He's up to 9. He's already picked up 3 positions on the start. Dr. Quinn, though, he's to the inside of Amoeba. And Dr. Quinn, you know, we don't talk enough about Dr. Quinn. And so is Brentwood to the inside of Amoeba. Amoeba's in a really bad spot right now. He's got to have to find a rhythm here, or otherwise he's going to lose another spot. And he gets right in front of Brentwood and is able to hang on. And there goes Outlaw to the outside as he tries to take up the 7th spot from LMP Ranger. And Outlaw making things happen. He knows he wants back up in the fight. He wants up there. He's working hard. He's shown how strong on the outside he's been earlier in this race. Oh, and an accident. It's Dr. Quinn. And the caution will come out. And Dr. Quinn just got turned around battling with LMP Amoeba. Nothing he can do right there, and you gotta think under this caution, we're probably gonna see Northern Thunder make a pit stop. I believe he's the only driver in the field that hasn't seen the pit box just yet, other than when he accidentally went in there earlier due to a caution that he was in. And that helps Outlaw out just as much. And Brentwood will go into the pits along with Outlaw and some others. Nope, I'm sorry, we're on Outlaw. Now it would be a person, Dr. Quinn, Brentwood. Okay, so I was wrong. We're putting Outlaw into that conversation of pit stops while we're riding with him. That makes sense, huh? Here we go, and you got to think for Outlaw here to start on the outside. It's probably not going to affect him a whole lot. He's shown that he's been strong out there, so he probably feels really confident on this restart. Only 2 drivers have really mastered the outside, and we've seen a couple other drivers do it, but I would say Northern Thunder and Outlaw have really been the head honchos of that. And we're back to racing, and Katie gets a good jump off the start. Bobberts not so much, and they're side by side going into 1 and 2. Amoeba goes down low to the inside. Katie and Bobberts touch just a little bit off of 2, I'm sorry. Looks like Northern Thunder didn't get a run off of 2, but there goes Outlaw to the outside of Ranger now. And Bobberts fighting back as well with Katie. And oh boy, Ranger and Outlaw touching and banging. It's a tough world on the outside, but if you can make it stick, it's going to be your best friend. And Outlaw not able to stick to the outside. He has to go right behind him. Let's hop up there with Bobberts and Katie. Katie fighting real hard with Bobberts. And they bump and they bang door to door. They're still door to door. Battling real hard. Former champion against defending champion for that 2nd spot. Oh, Bobberts tried to close the door on Katie, wasn't able to do that. He gets shoved up high, and Katie gets down underneath him, but can he get a run to the outside now? Still battling out side by side in 3 and 4. And Katie clears Bobberts. So Katie back up to 1 more position away from where she started in this race. You know, a couple years ago, when the first season of MEA NASCAR happened, Miss Katie Cat, back at that time, she was a slap shift racing driver, had dominated that series. And the very first race at Homestead was a complete annihilation of what she accomplished. She was so strong that season, and that very first race at Homestead, it was all hers. I mean, she was that far ahead of everybody else. So it's not surprising to see her do so well here. Bobberts as well, you know, he's a very good driver. He's gotten very strong at the ovals. It's not been his so-and-so best friend in previous NASCAR seasons. He's been a lot more reluctant on the road courses, battling here with LMP Amoeba. And Amoeba, you know, we don't really need to say too much more about Amoeba. Amoeba's been working very hard, you know, week in and week out. Don't be surprised if Amoeba can pull something off special here today. And oh no, but Amoeba made a mistake, lost one to the Ranger and Outlaw, who's hard charging. And Katie now starting to make the gap on Bobberts to try to track down Northern Thunder. You hear the cars bumping and banging, wall banging, door banging, bumper banging, a lot of banging out there. And I'm sure if someone watches this, they're gonna think funny of it. Outlaw to the inside and caution's out. Northern Thunder spun out, the leader, the race leader, Crispy sideways too. And you gotta think that's a tough situation for Northern Thunder. He was leading the race, not sure exactly what happened. I gotta think that he probably just spun out. He's down to 3% fuel. He's gonna want to have to come in for a pit stop this time around, and I think that's what he was probably trying to do. He was probably trying to make a green flag stop and just didn't get the entry that he wanted going in. Got a little loose trying to save it or maybe fix it, and just, you know, got sideways immediately. So pit road will be open this time around. SSR Bobberts waiting to announce that. Miss Katie Cat back on the lead. So here we go. Let's see who enters pit road this time. The pits should be open, and Katie's going down there as well. So Katie, Bobberts, Ranger, Amoeba, Gale Force, Dr. Quinn, the Whirly Bunch. That puts Outlaw back on the lead. So the driver's coming out of the pits now. However, though, if you're Northern Thunder, you love seeing this only because, not because of the caution. Obviously, he needed the caution because he spun out, but he was on a way different pit cycle than everybody else. The fact that everybody else went in the pit with him on that lap where he needed the pit puts him back on a very similar cycle than the rest of those particular cars. The cars that are out there in the top 5 right now, they are all under a way different pit strategy. So we're going to find out how good these guys are on everything else as the field gets back together. So here we go. Started with 13 today, down to 12. Green flag is back in the air, and Outlaw will take us back to racing. SSR Person, this is the highest he's probably been all race. So let's see how he handles it. Katie gets down to the inside to make it almost 3 wide. It is 3 wide. Crispy, Katie, and Bobberts. Let's get back there and let's take a look at what's going on. There's Katie. She's already cutting through the field. She moves up to the 5th spot, side by side with SSR Bobberts now. Person to the wall. 4 wide off of 4. Oh man, it's getting a little bit crazy out there. Crispy gets on by Bobbert, so here comes Amoeba 2. And Person, just from that, lost a lot of distance, and we talked about how he would respond to being further up, and unfortunately just didn't work out for him. But heck, did it work out for Katie and Amoeba, and Bobberts too. Northern Thunder, he didn't really get up through the field like the other drivers did, but he did start further back than the rest of them. And Brentwood's doing a really good job sticking with Outlaw right now. You know, Brentwood, you know, he is not a slouch here at Homestead. He's been very competitive here in the past. You know, we talked about that, how he had an opportunity to win a race last season, and SSR Markey able to steal that show. And boy, was that a lot of fun to watch. That race had a lot of into it. I mean, Homestead's just been one of those special tracks that has always offered really good racing here in this series. You know, it's always an excitement when we come here, and that's been nothing different here today. We'll go further back in the mid-pack. There's Northern Thunder to the inside of Dr. Quinn. Northern Thunder trying to make easy work of everyone as he's trying to get back up to the front as well. And there goes Outlaw. He's going into the pit, so Outlaw in pit road at this time. So Outlaw, you know, we talked about people being on a different pit strategies, and so Outlaw taking a pit stop a few laps later than everyone else. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, everybody. I had to go handle some personal business, unfortunately, so I didn't even see what happened here, but it looks like Katie Katie must have wrecked battling with Brentwood. I wasn't here for that. I do apologize. But Northern Thunder up to the 3rd spot, so I missed quite a bit. I missed quite a bit, so just in those handful of laps. You know, I wish we could actually like talk to the drivers, like, you know, hey, Brentwood, you got to copy this as Bam. You know, we could talk to them about strategic and whatnot. And I didn't see what happened, so I can't really talk on the issue. But all I know is Katie's back there, so it's a good thing we hopped on her. You guys got to see it. I unfortunately didn't. As we enter lap 84, I believe pit road opens up this time around. It's usually by this time of race where drivers get a little bit more antsy. It's closer to the end of the race. Still a lot of question marks up in the air. So here we go again, back to green flag racing. This is Amoeba's big opportunity. Brentwood, though, has shown very strong place. Amoeba's to the outside. He get that good run there going. He might be able to take the race lead. And I gotta say, the favorite in this one is Northern Thunder. He's been the strongest driver all day long. It's his race to lose at this point. Amoeba not able to get that jump off the line, and that moves Bobberts back with him. Amoeba throws the car way up high and making it 3 wide off of 2. Ranger down to the inside of Bobberts, and look at this, Northern Thunder battle for the race lead. Side by side going into 3 and 4, and not just that, it's about 3 or 4 other drivers duking it out as well. Amoeba falling back to 5th. Northern Thunder duking it out though. Brentwood showing what he's got. He wants to beat the best. He's got to work for it. Trying to prove himself to the field that he's here to win, and he's fighting real hard. And Brentwood had a lot of question marks coming into the season if he was going to compete or not, and not able to make last week, but here today, it's great to have him in the mix. Oh, and Northern Thunder spins out off of 4, an accident on the front straightaway. Oh my gosh, what a hiccup that was for Northern Thunder. He came off of 4 and just looked like he sim twitched onto the front straightaway, something we saw with LMP Amoeba earlier in the race. And what unfortunate luck for Northern Thunder. We talked about how strong he is and how many little things that just really affected his race. He's definitely the best car on the racetrack. So, wow. I mean, that's so unfortunate. That really is. That's really unfortunate for Northern Thunder. And I know that I'm kind of laughing about it and everything, but, we talked just right before that happened. I might have jinxed him, but it's his race to lose. I mean, there's so much time left in the straight for him to get up through the field. And I don't believe that we've seen our final caution yet. I really think that there's going to be another mistake, another opportunity, you know, I think a lot of these guys will win this race today, and lady, as we go back to green flag, and Rangers didn't get a good jump, and look at that. Katie's trying to find a hole, and I think she got it. Oh, gosh. And she forced it, and Ranger way up high, and he's spinning out at turn 2. And the caution would come back out, and that's really unfortunate. It looked like, you know, Katie was just trying to find the line to the inside and just not able to get there just exactly. Ranger was doing everything he could to hold her off, and they just kind of got together and just, you know, it spun out. You know, that happens, and hard racing, but definitely working hard, as Bobbert's now in a position that he hasn't really gotten to see, and Brentwood's doing a great job. I mean, let's not rule out Brentwood. He's doing a fantastic job. He's fending off against all these super tough competitors, people that we would consider to win the race, and you know, Brentwood's not one to expect to win this, so he's in a great position. I think we have a lot to see here. The only thing that I'm concerned about for Brentwood is the fuel game. Does he have enough till the end? I think he does. I think he could get there to the end with 50%. Though we haven't been doing the math up to this point, I think all is okay. So they're definitely back up, and they're going to try this again on this restart. And here we go. And Brentwood getting a nice jump there. Outlaw trying to get to the inside of Bobberts. He's going to throw it in there, and he does. He throws it right in there. He gets to the rear quarter panel, but I don't think that's enough to get by Bobberts, or at least challenge him. And what a move by Amoeba. Cutting right in front of Katie. Katie gets the crossover, though. You see there, Bobberts right at the rear bumper of Brentwood. Miss Katie Cat, look at her go with a power move to the inside, trying to clear Outlaw. And Bobberts trying to do everything he can to shake Brentwood here, try to get the race lead. And Brentwood's never won an MEA major. I mean, he's working really hard. There's Outlaw looking to the inside of Bobberts. And this looks like, you know, Brentwood looks really confident right now. It looks like he has no worries. He's not making any mistakes. He's fighting really hard on the racetrack. There goes Outlaw to the inside of Bobberts now, the battle for second. And if you're Brentwood, this is exactly what you want to see. You want to see the battle between 2 and 3 go at it. And Outlaw looks like he's got a major run off of 4. He does, and he gets right in front of Bobberts. As we run the rear camera view of Brentwood, and you know, I have to say it, I feel that the 2 strongest cars in this race are definitely Outlaw and Northern Thunder. I think Katie is a solid 3 and Bobberts 4. But Outlaw and Northern Thunder have been super strong, and Outlaw made a little mistake there off of 2. Northern Thunder, though, he's up to the 6th spot now. Amoeba looks to the inside of Katie. Not able to clear him, and Northern Thunder right on the rear bumper of Amoeba now. Hits the outside wall. It gives Katie an opportunity to battle to the inside. Katie to the outside, 3 wide. And, oh, Amoeba spins out in turn 2. And Northern Thunder will gain the spot. And just like that, the caution is out, and we talked about it. Oh boy, and Amoeba, just another situation that he just isn't able to avoid, and they were 3 wide. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I know that Northern Thunder was on the inside. Amoeba was in the middle, and Katie was way high. Katie able to hold on, and it was very strong running through there. Talk about Brentwood, he's hanging tough. So this is becoming an interesting story, and let's go check on Brentwood's stuff. He's taking his fuel. It's gonna be close for Brett. I don't know if he can get there to the end. Let's check on Bobberts. Yeah, I'm not sure. I wonder if there's another pit that still needs to be discovered. But Brett was in this position last time, so, I mean, this isn't uncharted territory. Alright, so here we go. We're going to go back to Green Flag Racing, and we have the 2 strongest cars in the second row. We have the defending champion in front of them, a man that's never won an MEA before. We have a former champion, Miss Katie Cat. All in the top 5. Here we go. 19 laps to go, and I think Brett is all good on fuel. And he gets right in front of Bombers to throw the block. One great block by Brentwood as they go into 1 and 2, and look at that Outlaw. To the inside! Look at the battle Bombers off of 2! I don't know, if you've never been a Brentwood fan, you might want to be one right now. Bombers gets loose! He gets loose, but he saves the car! Northern Thunder as well gets by him, and Katie looks to go as well to the inside of Bombers. And a caution in the back of the straightaway, it looks like. The caution is out, and that's Gale Force in the 43 machine. That is correct. And that's, you know, that's just not what you wanted to see if you were, definitely if you're Brentwood, it's definitely not what you want to see if you're Outlaw, but Outlaw's been super strong to the outside. Alright, so here's what your top 5 looks like. SSR Brentwood, once again, has never won an MEA race in one of the major lobbies, the A lobby, if we want to say. SSR Outlaw, who's been so strong in past events, looking to make it happen here today. You got Northern Thunder, new face to the series, never won an MEA, but it's one of the strongest cars on the racetrack. Bobbers in the 4th spot, and Katie both previous champions in the series. Dr. Quinn, who's just been up front and trying to find something. Amoeba, who's strong but just couldn't find the range. And then Ranger, Clyde, Yellow, Crispy, a person, and Gale Force behind them, who still all have an opportunity to win. I don't see why they don't have a chance. Green flag again, and looks like a really rough spot. Start. Brentwood didn't get a good jump. Katie's into the wall! Then a caution comes out! And it looked like just from that start there, you saw everyone kind of bunch up just a little bit, and it bit it bit one of the drivers, and that was really unfortunate for Miss Katie Cat. She was super strong, and I don't know, without another caution in this race, people are starting to get antsy, and you're seeing it. We'll have to see what happens here. Katie's going to have a lot of work to do. And if you're a Katie fan, you definitely feel frustrated about that one. You saw the start of how it kind of unfolded. I mean, Brett didn't really get a good jump off the line. And that led everybody else to kind of cluster up just a little bit, and I think Katie just got the bad end of a deal with the rear of the pack pushing up forward and just clipping the rear of the car. But that's part of the it's part of the game, part of the race. Things happen, and you just got to kind of put it aside and push on through. So we'll see what happens here as they start doubling back up on the back straightaway. Did anyone pit under this caution? Nope. And it looks like Amoeba. It looks like Amoeba must have been in the mix as well, because he's all the way to the rear. So you gotta think, if you're Brentwood on this, you don't want to make the same mistake twice. I wonder if he was trying to speed up a little bit and just slowed down and didn't mean to make it seem like he was going, because he did not get the jump that he got the first few times. But then again, Outlaw might have just timed that jump perfect. I feel that Brett just wasn't ready to get the field going, and it kind of just messed everybody up. But here we go, 14 laps to go. This is really exciting. I can't wait to see how this turns out. And green flag's back in the air, and there's the restart Brett wanted. Nice and easy, gets right in front like he's been doing, and back to work he goes. So this is going to be interesting. You got Outlaw and Northern Thunder, some of the best drivers on the outside line up top. And just like that, Outlaw going to work. Trying to make it happen. He got a really great run off of 4. Now can Brentwood do something to the outside? Whoa! And a Northern Thunder and Outlaw take each other out in 1 and 2! Oh my gosh! The 2 strongest drivers collide under caution, and they will go to the rear of the field! Oh my gosh! And Katie got part of that too. SSR person. And the red flag is out. It looks like the MEA officials have made the decision to let Outlaw and Northern Thunder stay in their spots. So So no argument there from them. That's what we were kind of checking up on. And green again as, oh my gosh, they collect Brentwood into the wall. And just like that, you get a really bad start, and they're wrecking again in the mid-pack. Brentwood just didn't get the start he wanted. He was trying to get up to the outside, collected to the inside just a little bit, and then with the push of Northern Thunder, he just kind of got hung up there. So, and that's super unfortunate for Brett. He's just battling, and you know, you can't blame him for that. Dr. Quinn moves up to the second spot. And not sure what happened here. LMP Ranger. It looked like he had disconnected from this one. 9 laps to go. And green flag's back out. And Bobbers gets by Dr. Quinn. And now Northern Thunder trying to go to work. And caution is out again, and a big one in the back. Brentwood, Katie, and Northern Thunder again. So here we go. And we're back to green. Looks like another single file restart. And they're battling really hard right now. Outlaw and Bobberts for the lead. more to go. And Bobbert's trying to make a run here. Really impressed with Dr. Quinn. He's got some pace, he's sticking with him. White flag next time by. White flag. And coming around the final couple of turns, unless Bobberts has something here, Outlaw's going to do something he's been trying to do seasons ago. Coming around the final corner, it'll be a for Outlaw with the win here at Homestead. Bobberts in second, third, Dr. Quinn, fourth, LMP Amoeba, fifth, Crispy, Katie, Gale Force, Northern Thunder, Brentwood, and then a person, Clyde Yellow, Ranger, and Flamingo. And then just stay tuned for the post-race interviews coming up next. And we'll get the top 5 in here momentarily. It looks like the results messed themselves up, so that's that's not uncommon. Let's get everybody in here that should be in here. I have no idea who went and where. We're gonna figure that out here in a second. Like I said, post-race coming up next. So we just need to get the other drivers in here, and then we'll be able to start this thing. So just waiting on Outlaw. We're waiting on Crispy. We're waiting on got Amoeba. Waiting for Dr. Quinn and Bobberts. So almost everybody's in here. I believe we're only missing Crispy and Dr. Quinn. If they want to talk, they better get in here. I know we have to fix the sheet. but I do know where everyone pretty much ended. So, unless they're going to come in here, I'm just going to start this thing. And, I believe, I know this is wrong. I know this race results are wrong. Crispy, you finished 5th, right?
Yeah.
Can anybody vouch for me on that? All right, thank you.
He did.
And for you guys that just entered the party, please make sure that your audio is checked off on the party box inside the party menu. But we're gonna start the interviews. If Dr. Quinn gets in here, he gets in here. I don't know where he's at, but there he is. All right, so we got everyone in here. So let's get to it. As I'm going to possibly lose my power here soon due to a storm, so let's try to get these out of the way. So, first and foremost, Crispy, congratulations on the top 5. It was definitely hard-earned today, that's for sure, especially there late in the race. You were up front for a good portion of the race, mid-packed up front. You had to come back through the field a couple of times, but, there at the end, you were in the right place at the right time. Take us through your race. It just seemed like you didn't have the car completely there to battle the guys exactly up to the front, but you were there every step of the way.
Yeah, it was a tough race. I just made sure that I had enough to get to the end as far as fuel goes. So I just made sure that I pit at least on lap 75. But there were so many cautions that I had a lot of options.
And you had your teammate Ranger out there, and obviously Amoeba, and it seemed like you guys linked up a few times at different points of the race. Was that any part of your guys' strategy? Though you guys are racing individually in the series, did you guys have a plan to come in and try to work together in the draft if you could?
Definitely. I think anytime that we were on the track together, any of the LMP guys definitely stuck together and didn't really battle each other too much.
We saw that earlier on in the race. You guys, I believe it was you pushing Amoeba or vice versa, and you guys were in position to battle, but you guys kind of laid off one another and kept fighting through. It's always good to have friends out there, but late in race situations, you guys become your own enemies, so to speak, there late. But 5th overall, obviously last week, top 5, 2 top 5s in your first NASCAR series in MEA, and it's been going to plan. You talked about finishing, I believe, top 3 in the points, so things are going pretty good for you so far as you enter week 3.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, that's LMP Crispy, everybody. Congratulations to you, sir, on the top 5, and we'll move up the ladder here. And I believe, Amoeba, you were behind Dr. Quinn. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's right.
That sheet said. All right, yeah, because the sheet's a little bit wanky in the mid. But anyways, Amoeba, we, coming into this race, we talked about. Well, I should say I talked about, how again your progression over the years have been getting better and better and better. One of the big things today was you were there. You qualified. 2nd overall in qualifying. I know you definitely had to be happy about that. Obviously, 2nd to Katie there, but you had the pace up front. It just seemed like every time you found something went wrong for you. Early in the race, you got loose off at 4. You got a little bit of a sim twitch on the front stretch. Then later in the race, something very similar to that coming off of 2. It just seemed like you were always in the wrong place at the wrong time. And it seemed like you did a lot of fighting to get back to the front every single time. Could you take us through that?
Yeah, at the start, I just was going too fast in the corners, I think, making little mistakes. And there was definitely some aero wash. Not terrible, but by the second half of the race kind of figured that out. And, a few unfortunate things, some leg spikes that I seemed to get caught in the wrong spots. But coming back and forth and finishing 4th, that was pretty good.
And Amoeba, finishing top 5, given all those circumstances, is it's not an easy task, especially how competitive everyone is. It seems like there's about 6-7 cars out there, especially into today's race, that just seemed like anyone could have won it. Obviously, there was some stronger than the other, but you were definitely in that mix, and you had some opportunities there and a couple of restarts. I believe you late there in the race you had an opportunity with Brett, but it just seemed like Brett was so good on those restarts, except for a couple of the botched restarts that we got to see, which kind of eventually got him out of the top 5 and into worse circumstances. But you had a chance there. How tough is it for you as a driver? And I could ask this to anybody, but you specifically, Amoeba, as the driver on the outside line, it seems like at Homestead, it's so much stronger if you can hit it right.
Yeah, it's really tough on restart to get it right, but if you do, you can hang in there. It's just tough to see the lines on the inside. So yeah, it's great if you can get it right, but that can be difficult.
And, you know, it seems like if you're on the inside, it seems like you have to do so much more work because just the smallest mistake, if that guy on the outside is, you know, hooked up and just very consistent, it seems like, you know, it's tough to beat that person. You know, we've seen it with Northern Thunder today. We've seen it with Outlaw. They were probably the two best at it throughout the entire race, but it just seemed like anybody that was on the below side, they had to really earn it if they wanted to keep in front of that person.
Yeah, for sure. There were a few times I just had to dive in there really deep. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But yeah, it's really tough when you get up in the top 5 to make any passes on anyone.
Well, obviously, we're going to come back here a couple more times, and I'm sure after today's race, there's a lot of learning curves here at Homestead. But congratulations to you on another top 5, and looking forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, I feel like I'll do a little better at Indy. Feel like I'm a little more confident in that. So yeah, thanks.
And that was LMP Amita, ladies and gentlemen, and great result for him here today. And Dr. Quinn, DBO Dr. Quinn, you know, we watched you all race long, Dr. Quinn. You know, you were sitting there in the mid-pack. You started further in the back. You fought your way up within the top 6. You had a couple different moments where you were opportunities to be in the lead as well as the race progressed out. And obviously, at the end of the race, you're in the right place at the right time. And it just seemed like as your race progressed, it seemed like you were getting stronger and stronger. It just seemed like you were a lot more confident. And you know, in the past, it doesn't seem that way all the time. How much more confident were you today? And obviously getting your first top 5 in the MEA, let alone top 3.
Yeah, it was an incredible race today, staying consistent. I'm driving with some incredibly skilled people that are just watching them. I'm learning more and more, getting better and better throughout this past year, especially within the MEA leagues.
You know, you're a regular in MEA. You know, we see you week in and week out, series after series, event after event. You definitely improved over the course of time. And do you feel that, first off, did you even think you were going to be in a position to have that opportunity late in the race? I mean, what was your goal going into today's race, and how do you feel about getting that top 3?
I feel incredible getting a podium position, especially amongst these drivers. I was consistently getting better at beating my qualifying time. I was running in the .2s, and that was my goal, just to stay consistent, to knock out lap after lap within as close to each other as I can, and to at least beat if not tie, at least break my qualifying time. And throughout doing that, I was able to keep up with these drivers.
Well, obviously, Dr. Quinn, it's great to have you in here. Great to see you finish well and get a podium at that. Looking forward to see you grow as the season progresses, so congratulations. And that was DBO Dr. Quinn, 3rd overall in today's race. And obviously, if you're watching and you see the sheet, I know it's messed up, but we got it right. That's why I always say everyone's name when they cross the line. So we'll get that corrected later. But 2nd over up, SSR Bobberts and Bobberts. Tough race, especially you were up front for very, very much of this race. There's only a couple times I think you were really fighting through the mid-pack, and between you, Outlaw, Northern Thunder, Katie, Amoeba, and a few other people, it just seemed like that was a really tough battle up front. And you know, and I'm sorry if I missed it. I think you've only led a few laps in this race. You know, take us through your race today, and how tough was it from your point of view?
Yeah, well, you're right, firstly, in saying I didn't lead many laps. I don't even know if he even led a lap, maybe 1 or 2 very most. But like I said, yeah, I was up the front most of the race, at least. Obviously, as you said, with the likes of Outlaw, Northern Thunder, Katie, you know, and everybody else that was up there, Amoeba. You know, it was a good race. I enjoyed most of it. You know, it got a little bit hectic and manic at the end. I guess that's just the Homestead syndrome, you should call it. But no, I'm glad I got P2. You know, obviously everyone loves to win, but you know, Outlaw did a great job. You know, getting the win today. You know, he made the move stick when he needed to on me, and give him full credit for that. So you know, he closes the gap, and yeah, you know, he deserves it.
And I gotta say, late there in the race, Brentwood was up front. It just seemed like you were having such a hard time with Brentwood. I want, just to think if you could have gotten by him earlier before all that chaos happened, where he got knocked out of the top 5. What could have been, but how tough was it for you? Brentwood's been improving as well over the course of time, and obviously he's always been strong at Homestead. We've seen that last season where he was battling Markey at the end of the race, so a little similar situation for him today. It just seemed like you could never time the jump with him.
No, I mean, I know he was really low on fuel. He was hoping for the cautions, which he was getting on that, but then obviously that unfortunate incident which took him out of contention, so it was a shame for Brentwood. But yeah, I mean, every time I seemed to try and get a run on him, he just shut the door every time, and it was full credit to me. I tried ducking left and right, and I just couldn't get the move done. And then on the last restart before he then had his incident, that's when Outlaw got the jump on me, and I think that's what's won Outlaw the race today. So but it was, like I said, main thing is I had fun. It was difficult. It was a tough race for everybody out there, but I'll take a second place.
Well, nonetheless, Bobbers, congratulations on another top 5, and obviously you talk real quick, just one more thing, you always talk about how tough it is for you to win at these ovals. Just take us through that mentality and how much that's starting to really get to you in these races. You're always in contention, you just could never seem to get the job done just because of a couple circumstances. How's that mentally affecting you when you come to these tracks, and do you see any issues confidently where it's just making you think more in the race?
It's not really a confidence thing. Obviously, I know I'm better at the road circuits than I am the ovals. Obviously, when I won the MAA Daytona 500, I got that chip off my shoulder. That really gave me the confidence, coming into this season. And if I'm being honest, I mean, so long I'm there with the people at the front that I know I'm going to be battling with in the championship, then I don't mind at all if I finish second or third to them. I'm still not, you're not losing too many points, and you can always gain them back at future races so long as you stay out of the incidents as such and are not caught up in it. But no, I'll move forward going into Indy next week. Hopefully get it, the same result, if not one better. Just keep pushing, keep moving.
Well, with that being said, Bobbers, we look forward to seeing you next week, and congratulations on another top 5.
Thank you.
And the man of the hour, Outlaw, we talk about this track, we talk about this series, and how much you strive to do well here, specifically at Homestead. It was not easy. I would question if, between you and Northern Thunder were the best 2 cars in the entire race. You guys made the outside look like it was nothing. I mean, you guys were making moves. There was a point of the race where you made the outside move battling. I believe you were battling with Brentwood or somebody else. You made the outside pass, and then all of a sudden, right on that same lap, there goes Northern Thunder to the outside and just gets right in front of you after coming off of 2 going into 3. But in the end result, you're able to prevail, and you got to feel great about this one.
It was definitely nice to win. That was a crazy race. I don't think I should have won. I really think Northern should have been up there, but I was still there. I think I don't even know what to say, honestly. Sticking that outside line is definitely a key to this track, especially on the restarts, though.
And I said, or later in the race, you were on the outside line, and people, a lot of people struggle starting on the outside. It tends to be a thing even at Homestead. And I said about near the halfway, a little over halfway, I said, on this next restart, I feel like if you're Outlaw, you don't care if you're on the outside. You've been strong on the outside all race long. Why does it matter? And on that restart, you showed how strong it was, and it just seemed like between you two, you talked about North Thunder and going back to it, it just seemed like you guys loved the outside line, and I think there's a few points in the race where you tried to make passes using the outside line.
Yeah, definitely, especially I want to say it was the caution right, like 3 laps after I had green flag pit. Like, the only way to get through the pack sometimes is to make the outside line work, so you got to do what you got to do to get up there again.
And Outlaw, you talked about how you're coming after the championship this time, how you're, and most importantly, getting that chip off your shoulder. You've been so close in Homestead in the past, last year especially. I mean, I know it's been tough, it's been hard. I know you've struggled, getting over that hump. But I know you have no words for it, but it's got to be an awesome feeling for you to finally get that done.
Oh, it definitely is a good feeling. Now I just gotta stay strong rest of season and try to stick on Bobberts and points overall.
Well, no more to say to that. Congratulations on a win, Outlaw. Obviously, you're going to definitely be a tough competitor at, I believe, even at Indy, you've shown a lot of good pace. So obviously, there's plenty of ovals for you guys to compete in. This is definitely a series where there's so many people that have an opportunity. But congratulations on the win once again, and we're looking forward to seeing how the season comes out for you as well.
Thank you.
And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap here. Don't mind the final results in front of you because it's all jacked up. So we'll figure it out when we get there. We'll have to look over the stream and hear me call out everyone's name. But that's beside the point. Your race winner here today, SSR Outlaw, in a hard-fought, earned battle with just pretty much everybody. There's nobody on this list I'd say was not even relevant. And then you got Bobberts finishing second, third LMP Amoeba, or third Dr. Quinn, I'm sorry, fourth LMP Amoeba, and then rounding out your top 5, LMP Crispy. As we'll be back next week, same time, same place, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time here in the States, and 9:30 GME time, or GMT time, I know, BST, whatever, over there in Europe. So we will wrap this one up here at Homestead International Speedway, and we'll see you next week. Thank you for watching.